tonight, very important surah is Ar-Rahman, the name of Allah, the one of the attribute of Allah, and Al-Waqi'ah, the inevitable. Inevitable means something will surely come, surely to come, and which can come sudden, and which is about the Day of Judgment. That what is a very important topic in the Quran is about God, about Allah, and also very important topic in the Quran about the Day of Judgment. It's always repeating. And also it's mentioned a lot about the Risala. But Risala is always related to the message of Allah. Then these messengers, they came and they give message of Allah. And they always give the two messages. Believe in Allah and in the last day. They always talk about two important topics. You believe in Allah and there is a Day of Judgment. And what is happening in Day of Judgment? You will be judged for whatever you did in the life. What do you want to be in front of Allah when you are in front of Allah? And Allah will ask you in the Day of Judgment, oh my slave, I gave you the life and everything, what you did with your life. So what you can proud of in front of Allah? You can just say, I struggle all life to make money, or I struggle all life to make myself popular in the people, always looking for the honor from the people, and I was doing something for my people or my city or my country or my system or my everything. You can say to Allah. Allah will ask what you did for me. I give you the life, what you did for me. Then you can say, Allah, I worship you all my life. I obey you. I follow your commandments. And I always do good for everyone. Good for my parents, my family, my wives, my children, my relatives, the human being. Wherever the community I'm living, whichever city I'm living, whichever place I'm living in the world, I always try to good for the people, and I never do harm for the people. And I did good for the people, to the people for your sake, for you. You can do something great that you can present to Allah in the front of Allah on the Day of Judgment. Allah, that's my report. That's my report to you. You give me the life, and I try to do everything good for your sake. Whatever responsibilities you have, whatever task you have, you try to fulfill them for the sake of Allah with honesty, with truthfulness, and with word of honor. That is the one you can present to Allah on the Day of Judgment. Allah, I did this for your sake. Now, if you are not thinking about that you are going to be present in Allah and you are going to report to Allah on the Day of Judgment, that Allah, you give me life, I did this to you for your sake. Then if you are not thinking that, then you are a loser. You are a misguided person. Always think about, there will be questions on the Day of Judgment. Our topic for tonight is God and the Day of Judgment. That Allah give us a life and He will ask us everything on the Day of Judgment. What you did in the life I gave you. What you did with the blessings I gave you. What you did the money I gave you. What you did with the resources I gave you. What you did with the knowledge I gave you. So there will be questions on the Day of Judgment. Where did you spend your life? Where did you spend your youth? How you earned the money, the wealth, and how you spend it. You spend it in the way of Allah, or you just waste it. Or the knowledge you had, how much you utilize that knowledge. These are the major questions will be asked on the Day of Judgment. We are too busy for the worldly life and all those things, and we are not even thinking that this life is a very, very small life compared to our next life. Our next life, only the first day, unang araw, is 50,000 years. That's what the Quran said, and that's what Prophet Muhammad said. It's a huge day to come now. And why this is 50,000 years? Because there will be billions of people will be judged. Today in one court, one case, you need how many years to finish? They will say, come back, you another hearing, another hearing. The Day of Judgment is a judgment for the lives of billions of people. Right now, we are in the world is around 8 billion people. How many were already passed before? How many billion passed? And how many more to come? So how many all in all total people will be on the Day of Judgment? So there will be enough. That's why the Day of the Judgment will be 50,000 years. You cannot sit down without the command of Allah. You cannot take any shadow if Allah will not give you any shadow. You cannot eat if Allah will not give you food there. And you cannot drink anything if Allah will not give you anything to drink there. It is a terrible day that we are going to face. And what is the most terrible thing on the Day of Judgment? Which the people who are disbelievers and those who are bad people, we see the day of judgment, Allah will kill the death. The mouth will be killed. And it will be announced, nobody will die anymore. So those who have a good report there, good report card, good result for their life there, they'll happy that they'll not die anymore. And they will enjoy all eternally, forever. But those who are bad character and bad life spent here, disbelievers, they will be too much sad and they will cry too much that there will be no end to this miserable life. They will be facing that miserable life forever. So that's very important for us to think about. The topic is very important. I'll just read little about this Surah Al-Najm. Najm means is the star. Nujum means the stars. In the name of Allah, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, by the star, and Allah swear by the star, when it descends, your companion, Muhammad, has neither strayed, neither misguided, nor he has error. Nor does he speak from his own desire. It is not but a revelation revealed to him. So Prophet Muhammad is not saying to us anything to the people with his desire, but whatever Allah revealed, he was telling to the people. So it was wahi, the revelation. It is not but the revelation revealed to him, taught to him by one intense in strength, the Jibrail, the angel, the mighty angel, one of soundness, and he rose to true form, with this very giant form of the Jibrail. While he was in the higher part of the horizon, then he approached and descended, and was at a distance of 2 bow length or nearer, this very close to Prophet Muhammad the Jibrail, and he revealed to his slave, the slave of Allah, what he revealed. The heart did not lie what it saw, so will you dispute with him over what he saw? And he certainly saw him in another descent at the lot tree of the utmost boundary. There, near it is the gardens of refuge, the paradise, where when there covered the lot tree, that which covered the sight did not swerve that it turned, nor not did it transgress. He certainly saw of the greatest sign of his Lord. So it was about when Prophet was ascended to the heavens in the skies, and he was a Miraj, and he saw those great signs of Allah. Indeed, those who do not believe in the hereafter name the angels female names. So there are people who are trying to give the names, female names to the angels, in which they have no right to do. And they have thereof no knowledge. They follow not except the assumption, the guessing only. And indeed, assumption avails not against the truth at all. وَإِنَّ الظَّنَّ لَا يُغْنِي مِنَ الْحَقِّ شَيْئًا. The guessing will not give you any surety to the right. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, those who have you seen the one who turned away and give little and then refrain? Does he have the knowledge of the unseen, so he sees? Or has he not informed of what in the scriptures of Musa and Ibrahim, who fulfilled his honesty? Honest, then that no bearer of burden will bear the burden of another, and there is not for man except that which he strives, which he earns, and which he worked for, and that his effort is going to be seen, then he will recompense for it with the full recompense, and that your Lord is the finality, and that it is he who makes you laugh and weep. So Allah is the one who makes you laugh and to make you weep, and that it is he who causes you death and gives life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentioned in this surah about what we were before, and he said that and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that he creates the two males, he created the two mates, the male and the female, and that Allah creates the two mates, the partners, the male and the female, from a sperm drop where it's emitted, and that upon him is the other Upon him is the creation, and that it is he who enriches and suffices, and that it is he who is the Lord of Sirius, and that he destroyed the first, the Ad and the Thamud, and he did not spare them. And the people of Noah before, indeed, it was they who were more unjust and oppressing, and overturned towns. He hurled down, and covered them by which he covered. Then which of the favors of your Lord do you doubt? This is a warner from the former warners. The approaching day has approached, or of it besides Allah there is no remover. That at this statement do you wonder, and you laugh, and you do not weep, while you are proudly sporting. So prostrate to Allah and worship Him. There was also one verse which Allah said, وَفَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَعَلِمَ بِمَنِ اتَّقَى. And Allah said, you were just the fetus in your mother's womb. So now why you are talking too much about your purity? And tonight we read about Surah Ar-Rahman. It is the most beautiful surah of the Quran. Like Surah Ar-Rahman, Surah Yasin, which is like the heart of the Quran. But if you want to look at the most beautiful surah of the Quran, that is Ar-Rahman. And even the beginning of the Rahman is very beautiful. It has the 4 verses after Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Ar-Rahman, Allama al-Quran, Khalaq al-Insan, Allamahu al-Bayan. Even if I don't read all this surah, these 4 verses are very beautiful and is a very good explanation. What is it? In the name of Allah, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the one who is full of mercy, who gives mercy to everyone, and who is most merciful, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And now there are 4 verses of the Surah Rahman. Ar-Rahman, Allama al-Quran, Khalaq al-Insan, Allamahu al-Bayan. What is it? In all the names of Allah which we read in the Quran, which is the name which is the most great name of Allah is Ar-Rahman, because it's, you look, Allah start every surah of the Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Bismillah ar-Rahman, Bismillah ar-Rahman, Bismillah ar-Rahman. Why Allah did not say Bismillah al-Kareem, Bismillah al-Quddus, Bismillah al-Wadud, Bismillah al-Muntaqim, Bismillah al-Ghafur, Bismillah. But you can read that every surah of the Quran is starting with Bismillah ar-Rahman. And even the Rahim is similar to Rahman. Both as a common word of Raham. And Raham means is the mercy with love. So it is very, very special name of Allah, Rahman. And that is a great, we can call it as the greatest attribute of Allah, Ar-Rahman. So the first verse, the greatest attribute of Allah, Ar-Rahman. He is the most merciful. He is the most loving. He is the most caring. And He is the one who is giving the mercy and love to all of His creation. What is the next one? Allama al-Quran. He taught the Quran. He teaches the Quran. So now Quran, it's the greatest book of Allah. Nothing greater than Quran. Torah was already changed by the people. The Injil was changed by the people. Zabur was changed by the people. Suhuf Ibrahim changed by the people. All the books of the previous people were changed by the people, corrupted by the people. The Quran is not changed. All the books were for certain time and certain period and to certain people. But the Quran has unlimited time, unlimited people, unlimited generation. So no doubt the greatest book of Allah is the Quran. So Ar-Rahman, the greatest attribute. The second verse, Al-Quran, the greatest book of Allah. Allama al-Quran. The third one ayah is Khalaq al-Insan. Allah created the man. Now who is the greatest creation? Insan. Before, the greatest creation was jinn. But the jinn was changed to be Khalifa of the earth, and Allah make the insan, the man is the Khalifa on earth. So jinn was given lower standard compared to human. So human become the greatest creation of Allah. So number 3 words of the Surah Rahman, Khalaq al-Insan, Allah created the insan, the man, the human being. So greatest attribute Ar-Rahman, the greatest book, Allama al-Quran, the greatest creation, Khalaq al-Insan. So 3 words, 3 greatest things are mentioned. And what is the 4th verse? The 4th verse is Allamahul Bayan. Allah teach the man how to speak. Allamahul bayan. Now Allah said, Khalaqal insan. Allah created the man and then He gave him the how to speech. Allamahul bayan, how to speech. Now look at all the human history. Who are the greatest people? Prophets. Anbiya, Rasul. The prophets are the greatest people. Why? What is their priority? Why they become the greatest? Because they speak. They talk. They speak to the people. They speak to the people about Allah. So speaking give them the prophet the greatest honor because they can give the message to people. You can check any leader in the world. Either president, prime minister, revolutionary, any leader in the world. If he doesn't know how to talk, he can never become a leader. Leadership needs talk. Hitler is a leader for the German people, Nazi people, German people. What makes him powerful? His words. If he can say one word, 90 million people are start to march. One word of his, Hitler. We have different people in the world who were the great, who were the known as the leaders like Gandhi. What is his power of the Gandhi? Speaking. Bhutto, what is his power? Speaking. Sukarno, what is his power? Speaking. All the leaders you can look in the past and today, there is no politician who become a politician if he doesn't know how to speak. No president can become president if he know how to speak. So greatest power for a human being is Allamul Bayan. Allah teach him how to be speaking power. And then Allah says, Ash-Shamsu wal-Qamaru bi-Husban, and then He make the sun and moon by calculations. Precise calculations. And the stars and the tree prostrate. They are bowing down to Allah. And the heavens He raised and imposed to balance. And He raised the sky and they make it balance. You can see the sky is everywhere is balanced. It's perfectly curved and perfectly balanced. Even the earth, even the planet, the sun, stars, the moon, the sun, everything is perfectly balanced. Allah put the balance, the mizan. And the heavens, the skies, He raised and imposed the balance that you do not transgress within the balance. Don't deficiate the balance. Always make it balance everything. And establish weight in justice and do not make deficient the balance. And the earth He laid for the creatures, therein its fruits and palm trees, having sheets of the dates, and grain having husks, the fiber, and the scented plants. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? He created man from the clay, like pottery, and He created the jinn from the smokeless flame of fire. So which of the favors of your Lord will you both deny? So Allah is addressing to jinn and man. Which of the favors of your Lord will both of you will deny? Lord of the two sunrises and the Lord of the two sunsets. So which of the favors of your Lord will you both deny? He released the two seas, meeting one another. Between them is a barrier, so neither of them transgresses. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? Now this is a very good phenomena in the oceanology. There are some ocean when they are meeting with the sweet water. This is saltish water and there is sweet water. And then because of the different density, Allah make a barrier, a specific gravity. Because of the different density of the salt water and different density of the sweet water, Allah made a wall. And this wall can be observed by the scientists, and it's a beautiful phenomena which Allah mentioned, that Allah make the barrier between them. So sweet water and the salt water are not mixing together, and that's because of the specific gravity of the both waters are different densities. So which of the favors of your Lord will you both deny? From both sweet water and salt water emerge the pearl and coral for the jewelry, for the beautification. So, and for the rings also. So which of the blessings of your Lord, favors of your Lord would you both deny? And to Him belong the ships elevated in the sea like mountains. So time of the Prophet ﷺ, the ships were not that big, but now it is for prophecy. So now we can see there are ships like mountains with institutions, with swimming pools, with hotels and restaurants and basketball courts and different sports there. So the mountains are like the ships are like mountains. It's a prophecy in the Quran and is fulfilled today. So which of the favors of your Lord will you both deny? Everyone upon earth everyone upon it will perish, and there will remain the self of your Lord, honor of the majesty and honor. So which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? Whoever is within the heavens and the earth, ask him. Every day he is in a matter, in something to do. So which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? We will attend to you, O prominent beings. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? O company of jinn and mankind, if you are able to pass beyond the regions of the heavens and the earth, then pass. You will never pass except by the authority. So it's talking about the gravity. You cannot pass with the gravity except the great power. And that great power, the human beings are made with rockets, so they can now cross the gravity of between the sky and the earth. So it was also prophesied in the Quran, in the Surah Rahman. So which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? Would you deny there will be sent upon you a flame of fire and smoke, and you will not defend yourselves? So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? And when the heavens is split open and become rose-colored like oil, so which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? Then on that day none will be asked about his sin among men or jinn. So which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? The criminals will be known by their marks, and they will be seized by the forelocks and the feet. So people will not be asked that what did you sin or not sin. People will be shown their criminality on the faces. So even though you don't ask if you are a sinner or no sinner, but Allah will expose your face as a criminal. So criminal will be shown by their faces. The people can recognize them. This person is a sinner and he is going in a hellfire. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? That is the hell which the criminals deny. They will circulate between it and hot boiling water, heat it to the utmost degree. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? But for he who feared the position to standing in front of his Lord, have two gardens. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? Having branches. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? In both of them gardens are two springs flowing. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? In both of them are of every fruit of two kinds. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? Reclining on bed whose linings are of silk brocade, and the fruits of two gardens is hanging low. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? In them are the women. Which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? Untouched before them by man nor a jinn. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? As if they were rubies and coral. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? Is the reward for good anything but good? So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? And below them both in excellence are two gardens. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? Dark green in color, the garden in paradise. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? In both of them are two springs spouting. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? In both of them are fruits and palm trees and pomegranates. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? In them are good and beautiful women. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? Fair ones reserved in pavilions. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? Untouched before him by man nor a jinn. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? Reclining on green cushions and beautiful fine carpets. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? Tabarak alladhi biyasmi. Tabarak asma rabbika. Tabarak asma rabbika zil jalali wal ikram. Blessed is the name of your Lord, honor of majesty and honor. And then next was the Surah Al-Waqiyah, inevitable. In the name of Allah, Rahman ar-Rahim, when the occurrence occurs, inevitable occurs, there is at its occurrence no denial. It will bring down and raise up, bring down some and raise up others. So some people will be honored and some people will be humiliated. When earth is shaken with convulsion, and the mountains are broken down, crumbling, and become dust dispersing, and you become of three kinds. So all the human beings on the day of judgment will be three kinds. And what are these three kinds? Muqarrabun, Ashabul Yamin, Ashabul Shimal. Muqarrabun, those who are very close to Allah. Ashabul Yamin, the people of the right who will be going in paradise, in Jannah. And Ashabul Shimal are people of the left hand who will be going in the hellfire. And you become of three kinds. That the companions of the right, what are the companions of the right? And the companions of the left, what are the companions of the left? And the Muqarrabun, those who are very close, those who are very honorable one, those are the one brought near in the gardens of pleasure, near Allah, in the gardens of pleasure, company of the former peoples and some of the few later people. And thrones woven, reclining on them, facing each other. So the people will be in the paradise will be reclining on the thrones and facing each other. The husband, wives, all the other people in the paradise. They will circulate among their young boys made eternal. So the young boys will serve with especially creation of the paradise. They will serve the drinks and foods and everything what the people desire in Jannah, in paradise. With vessels, pitchers, and a cup flowing from a flowing spring. No headache will they have therefrom, nor will they be intoxicated. So drink in paradise is made from the fruits, which will not make you intoxicant, which will not make you drunk, which will not cause you headache, and it's a pure halal drink, the clean drink, the good smell and delicious. A fruit of what? And fruit of what they select. And the meat of the fowl, the birds, from whatever they desire. And the fair women with large, beautiful eyes, the likeness of the pearls, well protected. So women will be given all the women who are believers, they will be given more beauty in the paradise. If they will be, and they will be still the wives of the person, they are the wives in this world. And then there will be another woman will be created in paradise, who are the hur Allah mentioned in the Quran. A reward for what they used to do. They will not hear therein ill speech, nor commission of sin. Only a saying of salam, salam, peace, peace. The companions of the right, what are the companions of the right? Among the Lord trees with thorns removed, no thorns in the trees there. And the banana trees layered, piled up. The banana trees layered, and the shade extended, the shadow extended, and the water poured out, and the fruits abundant, neither limited nor to the season nor forbidden, and upon beds raised high. Indeed, we have produced them in a new creation and made them abkara and devoted to their husband and of equal ages. For the companions of the right and the companions of the left, what are the companions of the left? In scorching fire and scalding water and the shadow of black smoke, neither cool nor beneficial. Indeed, they were before that indulging in affluence, and they used to persist in the great violation. And they used to say, when we die and become dust and bones, are we indeed to be resurrected? And our forefathers say, yeah, indeed, the former and the latter people are to be gathered together to the appointment of a known day, then indeed you, O those who astray, the misguided deniers, will be eating from the tree of Zakum and filling with it your bellies and drinking on top of it from the boiling water, and will drink as the drinking of the thirsty camels. That is the recompense, that is their accommodation on the day of recompense. We have created you, so why do you not believe? Have you seen that which you emit, the sperm cell? Is it you who created it to a child, or are we the creator? So the sperm cell and the egg cell from the mother, from the father, the sperm cell, Allah is challenging and asking, is it you make it a baby, child, or are we the maker? Or are we the creator? We have decreed that among you, and we are not to be outdone in that we will change your likeness and produce you in form which you do not know. And you have already known the first creation from the soil also, from nothing. So will you not remember? And have you seen that which you sow in the ground, the seed? It is you who make it grow to make a tree, or are we the growers? So now Allah is making another challenge. The seed you put on the soil, are you the one who growing it, or Allah is the one who is growing it from the ground? It is you who makes it to grow, that tree, or are we the grower? If we will, we could make it dry, debris, and you would remain in wonder, thinking what happened to my field, my harvest, my agriculture, or my trees. Allah can make it dry, everything. Indeed, we are in debt. Rather, we have been deprived. And have you seen the water that you drink? It is you who brought it down from the sky, from the clouds, or is it we who bring it down? So this water coming from the clouds, are we the one bring down? No. Allah is the one who bring it down. If you will, we could make it bitter. Allah can make it salty. All the water from the sea is evaporating. It's salty water, but when it reaches to the cloud, Allah purified it and there is no salt there. And Allah can make it saltish again, this water, malat. So why we could make it bitter? So why are you not grateful? Have you seen the fire that you ignite? It is you who produce its tree, or are we the producer? So the tree, the green tree, in Surah Yasin, that there is oxygen coming out, and oxygen can mix with the carbon to make a fire. So carbon can never give us a fire, but it's actually the green tree or the plants which bring out the oxygen, and then the oxygen is mixing with carbon to ignite. When we ignite, and it's making the fire. So always the real fuel is oxygen is the real fuel, and not the carbon, because the carbon can never give the fire unless it's mixed with oxygen. Is it you who produce its tree, or are we the producer? So we have made it a reminder and the provision for the traveler. So those trees are a reminder from Allah, and they are the provision for the traveler. So the traveler can rest under those trees. So exalt the name of your Lord, the Most Great. Then I swear by the setting of the stars, and indeed it is an great oath, if you could know. Indeed, it is a noble Quran, in a register well protected. None touch it except the purified ones, the angels who are purified. A revelation from the Lord of the worlds, then is it to this statement that you are indifferent and make your provision that you deny? Then why, when the soul of at the death reaches to the throat, when the soul reaches to the throat, and you are at the time looking on, and we are nearer to him than you, because Allah is powerful, he is near to everything, because everything in front of him is smaller than an atom. But you do not see, then why do you not, if you are not to be recompensed, bring it back the soul, if you should be truthful. And if he, the dying one, was of those who near to Allah, then for him is the rest and bounty, peace and bounty, and a garden of pleasure. And if he, the dying person, was of the companion of the right, then angel will say, Salam for you, peace upon you. You are from the companions of the right. But if he, the dying person, was of the deniers, rejecting the truth, misguided, then for him is the accommodation of boiling water and burning in the hellfire. Indeed, this is true certainty, so exalt the name of your Lord, the Most Great. And then we also read the Surah Al-Hadid, which is iron, and then Allah mentioned it in this surah that the iron was sent down from the above. And that's what the modern science, I found out, that all the power, the energy of the solar system can not even make one atom of iron. And they believe that the iron was not formed on the earth, but it came from extraterrestrial sources. So they are thinking that it could be, they believe, the scientists, that it should come out of our solar system. And as Allah said in this Surah Al-Hadid, وَأَنزَلْنَا الْحَدِيدَ فِيهِ بَعْسٌ شَدِيدٌ وَمَنَافِعُ لِلنَّاسِ, that we send down the iron, in it there is a great power and benefit for the mankind. So now you can see the iron, how beneficial that Allah sent it down. All the cars, airplanes, ship, all made from iron. Machineries, appliances, unlimited use of the iron in our lives. And Allah said it has a great power. What great power? The sword before, the spear, the arrow, or today the modern weaponry like tanks made from iron, cannon made from iron, jet fighter made from iron, submarine made from iron, the ship, the warship made from iron. So what Allah said is always perfect. That we send down the iron, it has a great power and strong power, and it is beneficial for mankind. When the Spanish, they take power from Muslims in Spain, and they started to go around to colonize the countries and people, to enslave the people. And they were always collecting the gold. They keep on collecting gold, and they have thousands of tons of gold stolen from the people. And when the British power emerges, the British go around the world, they colonize people, they only collect iron. They don't collect gold. They are not interested in gold. Everywhere they go, they collect the iron, until they have thousands of tons of iron. They made the cannon with this. And when they make the cannon, they were overpowered the Spanish. They defeated Spanish in every war, and they get back all the gold from the Spanish. So the intelligence of the British Empire to collect the iron, because they should learn from the Quran that the iron is the power. So they collect the iron, they make the cannon, and they fought with the Spanish. They defeated them with the iron, and they steal every iron, every gold from them. So Spanish lost with, because they would keep on collecting gold. The gold cannot give you power. What can give you power is the iron. And Allah said that this life is amusement, is just for a temporary being. Whatever we have is just for a temporary time. And then you are going to left everything here. What is real is the next life. So Allah said, سَابِقُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَجَنَّةٍ عَرْضُهَا كَعَرْضِ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ أُعِدَّتْ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرُسُلِهِ ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ وَاللَّهُ ذُو الْفَضْلِ الْعَظِيمِ. Allah said that run towards the forgiveness of your Lord and to the Jannah, the paradise, whose width is like the sky and the earth, the universe. The width of the Jannah is the size of the universe. What is the size of the universe? 100 billion light years travel with the speed of the light, 300,000 kilometers per second. So that is the width of the Jannah. What about the length of the Jannah? How many billion light years? We don't know. But the Prophet Muhammad said the last person who will enter to Jannah after the punishment in the hellfire, his Jannah, his paradise will be 10 times bigger than our earth. So you can imagine that how big Jannah is. Allah knows best. May Allah save us from hellfire and enter those in Jannatul Firdaus, in paradise forever. Ameen. ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في أنفسكم إلا في كتاب قبل أن نبرأها إن ذلك على الله يسير. And there is no musibah, the calamity in the earth or in your own self comes to you except it is written in a book before it can happen. Inna zalika ala Allah yasir, and it is, and such is upon Allah is very easy to do. Because for Allah the future is not a future, past is not past, the present is not present. Everything for Allah is no time limit for Allah. He knows everything without any time bound and without any space He is, and without any limitation He is. He is not need of our dimensions. We need a dimension. Allah is free from any dimension. In the last surah, Allah don't love those who are arrogant, and Allah don't love those who are niggard, and those who are commanding people to be niggard. So always generous for the sake of Allah. And the last verse was Suratul Mujadila, which is, we finish it, and it is, the end of the surah is only the one last surah, then we are finished now. We can have question answer, inshallah. Allah said, لا تجد قوما يؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر يوادون من حاد الله ورسوله ولو كانوا آباءهم أو أبناءهم أو إخوانهم أو عشيرتهم أولئك كتب في قلوبهم الإيمان وأيدهم بروح منه ويدخلهم جنات تجري من تحت الأنهار خالدين فيها رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه أولئك حزب الله ألا إن حزب الله هم المفلحون. You will not find a people who believe in Allah and the last day having love for those who oppose Allah and His Messenger. Even if they were their fathers or their sons or their brothers or their kindred, their relatives. Those He has decreed within their hearts faith and supported them with ruh from Him, and we will admit them to gardens in paradise beneath which rivers flow, wherein they abide forever. Allah is pleased with them and they are pleased with Allah. Those are Hizbullah, or the party of Allah. Unquestionably, the party of Allah, they are going to be successful. So Hizbullah means it's the party of Allah, those who are believers, like all the prophets, they are belongs to a party of Allah. The Jesus, Moses, Abraham, David, Prophet Muhammad, Adam, Noah, all the prophets are belongs to the party of Allah. So you are either a party of Allah or you are either the enemy of Allah. So be always party of Allah and not to be enemy of Allah. May Allah guide us, may Allah forgive us. Question: the majority believe in hellfire, different belief religions, while minority believes on moral condition. Soul sleep mainly. In Christians, what's your reaction? The punishment of the graves is to your soul, because you have a second life to come. First life you have examination. When you are in the grave, your dead body in the grave of the earth, your soul is in different grave, which is grave either Sijin, which is below the first sky, somewhere in black hole maybe. You can find it if you'll go there. Hope you'll not go there. In that Sijin, your soul. And those who are believers, their soul will go to the above the first sky, and that place called in the Quran Illiyun, the elevated place. So the soul in the Illiyun will be comforted, and the souls in Sijin, which is mean a jail-like place, will be punished. So the punishment of the Qabr, Azabi Qabr, is a spiritual one, and the entertainment in the Qabr is a spiritual one, which is to the soul. But the hellfire is physical, actual, with body and soul, and it is not imagination. It is a real, with pain. Even Allah said that the skin will burn, and there is the changing of the skin. Why? Because when the skin burn, you cannot feel pain anymore, because your skin is totally burned. So no sensor can bring the signal to your brain. So Allah said Allah will change the skin for the disbelievers in the hellfire so they can continuously get pain. So it is meaning actual pain with the body and soul. With your skin, with your whole body will get pain in hellfire. So hellfire is the true hellfire and not imagination. Totoo ba sabi nila ang takbir mursal sa Eidul Fitr ay bida? I cannot say anything because it's not easy to reprimand people if you don't have enough knowledge. I know the takbir which I know and I recommend, which is Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Walillahi alhamd. So you can go for that, okay? No need to, if you are not comfortable with other takbir, the long word takbir emulsin, then try to research it. If it is from Sunnah or no, if it is not bidah, then no problem. There are some people who can make some dua which was not made by dua by the Prophet, so it not become the bidah. It is your words, you can always get close to Allah and you can make different way to make dua. So I don't think so the people have to be very exaggerating to always making everything bidah. Example, if I make dua in Urdu and the Prophet make dua in Arabic, so it won't make bidah. I will not get seen that I am making dua in Urdu. No. If you make dua in Tagalog, the Prophet never make dua in Tagalog. So will you say it bidah? No, it's not bidah because that's your language and you want to be exposed to Allah with your own language. You want to be close to Allah and talk to Allah in your language. So not a problem. So we be careful to make fatwa for shirk and kufr and bidah. Some people, making dua after the farz, and I do also. After farz, Salatul Farz, like Fajr, Zohar, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, I make too much dua. And even you make gathering dua, not a problem. And some people are very smart, they come, oh, why you make dua after Salah, it is bidah. How is bidah? Why is bidah to make dua? Who you are? You are stopping people not to make dua to Allah. You are like a shaitan now. Who give you the authority to say people that's bidah? You are like a devil now. You don't like people to make dua to Allah. Even the Prophet Muhammad said that one of the time your dua will be accepted is after Salatul Farz. After the Farz, after Fajr, Zohar, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. It's not bidah. Even you make individual dua after Farz, or even you gather and make dua after Farz, not a problem. Don't try to be over smart and think yourself you are very smart and you can tell people they are right and wrong. No. Haza halal, haza haram. You are nothing. You have no right to do all this unless you can bring the authority. So making dua, people also try to say that it's bidah to make dua after Salatul Farz. No. You must make dua after Salatul Farz because it is a time of acceptance of the dua. After Moses, the Egyptian worship to sun, God, Aten temporary awakening, polytheism. What's your reaction? Yes. Aton or the sun god, maybe you are right because when the Prophet Musa was, even before Prophet Musa, the Egyptians were idol worshipping. Because when the Prophet Joseph came to Egypt, he preached them to worship one God. And then people followed him. But when he died, after some time, they started to make idol worship. When the Prophet Musa came, that time also the Egyptians were idol worshipper. And they were drowned. They were punished. So after that, I don't know what they do, but definitely there is some following. But the time of the Prophet Muhammad, the Egypt was become accepting Islam, and they follow the oneness of Allah after this, and they are not committing shirk. And the day of judgment will not come until the people will return to idol worship. And that's happening now. In Middle East, people are already starting to make idols now, which is sign of the day of the ending of the world is coming very soon. Idol worship is different kind. Also, nowadays, people are worshipping money. People worshiping the fame, you want to be popular. People are worshipping also the clothes. Fashion is a worship. The Prophet Muhammad said, Abdul Dinar, Abdul Dirham, Abdul Kamis. So he also mentioned about this kind of worship that people are worshipping money, the dollar and peso and rupees. And people are also worshipping the kameez, the shirt, and the clothes. And today it is idol worshipping. People are buying the 200,000 pesos bag just to show off because they worship the fashion. They worship the status or worship the popularity. So, and some people are worshipping their political power. They want to worship their power for politics. They hunger for power. So there are different gods people are adopting. So materialism in another god also. Who is the Prophet Ayub? The Prophet Ayub was a great prophet, and he's the example of the patient. He was, all his body was with sickness, and his children were died, and his wife was taking care of him. All his body become worms, the sickness with the wounds with the worms, and he was always thanking to Allah until the time then he prayed to Allah, then Allah removed, and Allah gave him many other children, then he was have a happy life. Why the fertility is very high in Muslim countries? Yes, because Muslims are marrying, and Muslims are the religious Muslims, they don't mind about family planning or birth control. Rather, they trust Allah, and Allah is giving more and more provision. So we Muslims have many progeny and many children, and that's thanks to Allah for this. We thanks to Allah for that. Allah give us lots of fertility and lots of progeny to carry on. Even after we die, our children will carry on, and they will bring the Islam to the whole world. Ameen. Inshallah. Ameen. Okay, so that is a misinterpretation of the hadith. The body kept in the grave of the soil, no soul come back there. Because if the soul come back there, then this is second death, second life. And on the day of judgment, third life. But the Quran said, Awwal akhir. Awwalu akhiru. Al-akhiru khairul laka minullah. So there is only two lives. Awwal, the first life, and the last life on the day of judgment. There is no three lives. Even the Quran, you can go to the chapter number 40, verse number 11. Qalu rabbana ammatna sanataini wa ahayta sanataini fa tarafna min dhunubina falila khuruj min sabil. And they will say, the disbelievers, when they will be in the hellfire, our Lord, you must give us 2 times death and 2 times life. Now we admit our sin. Is there any way to go out from the hell? So we have in the Quran 2 lives only. So Allah also said that Allah take the soul, those who die and those who die not in their sleep, but He returns the soul for those who sleep, but He hold the soul of whom He decided to death. Allah will not send back the soul. So the souls kept in the Illiyon, the good souls, and the bad souls keep in the Isijin, below the first sky, within the universe, and they get punishment to the soul. Example, the police caught you and they started to punish you in the lockup. It's injustice. They should bring you to the court, and then judge will make judge, and then you guilty, then punishment. So how the Allah will start punishing those with physical punishment without being judgment on the judgment day? So the judgment day will be guilty, then the person will be punished physically. But right now, the punishment is spiritual to the soul and not to the body. May Allah guide us. Amin. Zuba iba't ibang panglasa na tao na pagmamatay. I cannot explain it what you mean to say, but Allah said, Kullu nafsin zaikatul maut. All the souls have to test the death. Lahat ng kalulan natikim ng kamatayan. So that is metaphorical. It means to say that some people die with pain. They will test the pain, and some people die with, when the soul come out, it comes without pain, but it will come out with the happiness. So that's maybe the meaning of the verse, that the soul will come out with miserable pain, they will test it, and some people, their souls will come out happily, without any difficulties and without any miserable pain. So that's meaning of the ayahs. May Allah knows best. May parusa sa bahang taong namatay kapag naibalsimo ang isang Muslim. Okay, the balsimo is like na yung funeraria, they are tanggal na yung laman loob, and then lagyan nila yung formalin, the lason, the poison, that is bawal. But if the relative will do, then that is the sin of the relatives. Yung mga kamag-anak na yun, nakasalanan nila. Dapat yung balik Islam, yung na Muslim, dapat sulat siya ng will. Last will that he don't like to be ibasmo, and then gusto niya diretso living in Islamic way. So lahat ng mga Muslim dapat sulat their testimony, their last will, and then it can be present to the relatives, kamag-anak, para kuha ng mga Muslim na yung katawan para ligo at balot ng yung white cloth and then living. Yes. Mamatay, maganda ang pakiramdam at hindi maganda, yes. So yung the people who are believers, they see the angels with good face, with perfumes, so they can feel happy when they're dying. But those who are devils, yung mga hindi panampalataya, they will see the angels with scary face and with punishment. So they will, when they die with bad feelings, and the believer die with a good feeling.